I met Dream on Omegle. Kind of. Also, this was all streamed live on my Twitch, so if you don't mind, go drop a follow on the Twitch. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and liking the vid and commenting and turning and notification, just everything. Do it all now. I was on Omegle last night. Just having fun, because I was like, hey, let's just have fun. I had like TikTok, Dream SMP, a bunch of stuff. But anyways, I was on Omegle last night. Sorry. And I was just going along, and at one point, someone was like, "Yo, Dream's on." I'm like, "No, he's not on. It's fake. It's not Dream. Stop dreaming." That's funny. Pun intended. And I was like, "It's not Dream. Like, there's no way. Sorry, bud. Hate to break it to you, but Dream doesn't just chill. Actually, he does chill on Omegle, but odds are it's 1 in a million. You'll probably never see him." Yeah, and I get to this Dream PFP, and I'm like, oh, it's a faker. It's someone trolling. And he talks, and he sounds exactly like Dream. And I'm like, oh, it's just fake Dream with a voice changer. But I'm chilling there. I'm listening to him. I'm like, oh, wow, this guy's got a good voice changer. He really sounds like Dream. There's only a slight difference. And we're talking. I'm like, nah, bro, you're fake. You're not real. Like, I'm just casually talking. I start talking to him like he's a normal person. I was like, so how's it, like trolling a bunch of like 14-year-olds on Omegle. It's gotta be fun, right? And he's like, yeah, and he's laughing. And the more I listen to him laugh, I'm like, that's Dream's laugh. I'm kind of getting a little nervous. I'm like, that sounds like Dream's laugh. I'm like, maybe it is him. I was like, nah. And he was like, actually, contrary to belief, I'm actually Technoblade. And he sends me a YouTube link, and he's like, yep, there's my channel. And I click on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably Technoblade. And yeah, it was Technoblade's channel. And I'm laughing, and he's laughing. And his laugh still sounds like Dream. It was throwing me off. And the more he talks, he sounds like whenever he would talk jokingly with Tommy in it. Like the words he would say, everything, it was throwing me off because it sounded purely like Dream. And I'm thinking, I'm like, this guy's, he sounds a lot like Dream, but his voice changer makes his voice sound not close enough to Dream. Like he talked his noun and verb and like all his usage sounded like Dream, but he didn't, like his voice, the actual tone of it didn't sound like Dream. Dude, I was like, okay, this might be Dream. So I just started talking, and we're bantering, going back and forth, but we're just talking, and it's hilarious. We're having like great conversations. We're bantering, and he's like, here. You know what? It's an unlisted video. I don't show many people, but just for you, I'll send you this video. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, it's probably not. It's probably like just a troll. It's nothing serious. I'm like, it's not an actual Dream video. There's no way. I doubt it. It's a Rickroll. I get rickrolled by either a real or a fake Dream. Either way, it's an embarrassment to myself. I got rickrolled. I was like, how could this happen to me? I'm so upset. I was truly embarrassed. I thought that my life had just ended. I thought it couldn't get any worse. One, I was getting trolled probably by a fake Dream. Two, I got rickrolled. So, yeah, no, L. Big L. Huge L. Yeah, exactly. I got rickrolled by probably a fake Dream. I still am gonna say it's probably fake. But, I continued talking with him, and he was like, all right, here's another link. I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, he's just gonna rickroll me again. I look at it, I was like, oh, it's a different link. No, it's not a rickroll. He's like, this is an actual unlisted video. So me being an idiot, I click on it. I click on it. No, I was actually, before, I was like, you're probably just gonna coconut mall me this time, aren't you? And he was like, no, and like, he laughed like him, and that's what threw me off. So I'm talking to him. And like, I click on the link he sends, because he sends a second link. And I'm like, oh, it's not a Rickroll. He's probably gonna coconut mall me. And I click on it, and it's a Rickroll. But the title is literally Rickroll, but it's another link on YouTube. And I cry. I start crying. I hated myself at that point. And at that point, you know the door behind me. You know there's snow outside if you've watched me before. You've seen me go outside and jump in the snow. At that point, I take off my headset. I start screaming, I open the door, and I literally jump over the fence into the snow, and I can hear him laughing. I can hear him laughing from the distance, like on my headset. And it sounds so much like him, it was throwing me off. And I just thought it was hilarious. I don't know. And I come back, and he's still laughing. And at one point that threw me off too is, I know like Sapnap started streaming me on his alt, but I know Quackity and Sapnap, like they were involved at some point. People were saying Quackity was there too, and I was like, no. And like, I know they were all in a call in Discord because Snapnap wasn't streaming yet on his alt, but then he started streaming on his alt and they were all together for a little bit. And then at that point, like at one point he was like, sorry, he kept laughing. He's like, sorry, there's just so many people in a voice call. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is he in a call with Carl George and Whackity. Could it actually be him? It might be. Who knows? Either that or it's just his buddies watching him troll little kids. And like this whole time I'm still acting like normal me. I'm not like freaking out or anything. I'm not being like, oh my goodness, it's Dream. Because even if I met Dream, I'd be pretty casual about it. Because I'm not that type of guy to freak out. I'm like, oh, it's a famous person. Cool. I don't know. I'm pretty famous myself, so it doesn't faze me when I meet famous people. But at this point, I forgot we started talking about some other stuff and we kept talking. I was like, you know, your laugh sound, I was like, your laugh sounds a lot like him, but your voice, like, it sounds like you have a voice changer and it's not quite perfectly Dream's voice. So I was like, so you don't sound like him. And that's what's throwing me off. And he's laughing. And he's like, all right, here's one more video. This one, I promise you, is not a rickroll. I was like, it's a coconut mall. It's like, I know it's a coconut mall. And he was like, no, I promise you. He's like doing the, like he's doing the perfect Dream laugh, and it's throwing me off. It's throwing me off. But it was a coconut mall. He tried coconut malling me. I will admit. He didn't succeed because, I mean, he did. I clicked on it technically, but I knew it was a coconut mall. I was expecting it. And I was like, you know what? I should stop. I told him, I was like, I should probably stop clicking links. He's like, yeah, you're gonna get DOS. And I was like you did once? He was like, I don't know, because I'm not Dream, I'm Technoblade. And I don't know, we just kept talking, we kept laughing and stuff and talking about random stuff. It was actually like, I was talking to him for a good 20 minutes. And he kept like, at one point he was like, all right, I'm gonna head out, but then I said something and he just kept laughing, and we'd, like, I think he was having too much fun with me for a little bit, even if it was a fake dream or if it was a real dream. And then finally he's like, all right, finally, this time I actually gotta go. I could imagine at the end of this, he's like, I have one more thing to say before I go. I could imagine eye contact with him if this was a real conversation, if I actually knew him. And he paused and there was a silence and he said, no joke, I mean this truthfully. He looked at me and he was like, by the way, I faked my speed runs, and then instantly left. I was like, what? You don't just say that if you're Dream. You have too much of a record to, like, that's your record there. You're just gonna throw that away? People trust you. Like, they're not gonna, what? You wouldn't just go saying that to people on Omegle. That's not Dream. It can't be Dream. So I still, up to this day, I still have no idea if it was Dream or not. Either way, I told this guy, I was like, you know, you're hilarious. So whether or not you're Dream, at least you're funny. At least you're funny. You're not trying to, like, you know, get him canceled. You're just being funny. I told him that several times before he left. But it was fun. Either way, fake Dream, real Dream, I had a lot of fun talking to this guy, and I enjoyed it. And that's how my night went yesterday on Omegle. It was fantastic.